hardest set of goals I've ever set. But beyond that, there's some things I want to do just in general that I didn't really quantify into goals so much. They're just things that I want to do, and they're kind of attached to goals. But I felt like I should make a video and talk about those too. Talk about the things I want to do that are kind of more nebulous. New Year's. These are more true resolutions, which is something I don't really usually set. I usually set goals, things to kind of accomplish and achieve. And this year, there's just some kind of guiding principles that I kind of set my goals around, but I kind of want to state my intention, because this is kind of more the year of being intentional and doing things with intention. So the biggest one is not eating out as much, because we spend a lot of money eating out. Me and the fiance, we go to get coffee a lot as a little treat, but it's just the little treats add up. And I think I did a while ago. I did one of those financial audits on myself that you might see on Caleb Hammer's channel, and it's just mind blowing how much we spent, $1,000 eating out in a single month, which is just bonkers. So trying to be more choosy about where we eat out specifically. And I don't want to get political on this channel, but we're really focusing on locally owned places where you might see the owner most of the time when you go in there. And so we're avoiding bigger chains, and especially fast food places, but for multitude of reasons. The quality has gone down, the prices have gone up, and more often than not, if you go to Taco Bell, what I'll get the two of the grilled cheese burritos and a drink. It's $15-16. Or I could go to the burrito place that makes one burrito that is my size. I'm a huge human being, so I need a good sized burrito. And I'll stop at a gas station, get a drink. It's $12. So it's the burrito from the local place is better. It's more filling. It's cheaper. So it's just why go to Taco Bell then? Especially when you could support the local people. Especially, I don't want to judge, but they're probably immigrants, just based off of the fact that a lot of them seem to speak English as a second language. And there's so many restaurants. So if you really care about immigrants and diversity and trying foods that you just don't get, just not Applebee's and Olive Garden, go seek out some of these locally owned restaurants. A lot of them are owned by immigrants, and there's some amazing food coming out of them. Do yourself a favor, go do that. Again, it's not a political statement, but something I've always thought about with the I guess xenophobia, for lack of a better word. It's just people that are so anti-immigrant. It's just do you not like food? Do you not like burritos? Do you not like, the pad thai? Pad thai's amazing. How do you not go eat some good pad thai and some good Mexican food and tell me you couldn't come around on that? And it's just what else do they got that's really cool that you didn't even fucking know is amazing, and you've now is your favorite thing because now you love pad thai? Fuck you, idiot. Go embrace the immigrants and their delicious food. It's amazing. So that's one thing. Another thing that I really want to do is focus more on documenting my life, documenting the everyday stuff. I think as someone who takes pictures for a living and makes videos for a living, I don't tend to document my own life, and so I feel it's not that interesting. Because a lot of time, if I'm not out working, then I'm here and I'm powered down. So last year I bought this the Digicam thing was getting big, and it's been a blast having this little guy. It's just been a blast just to mess with and take pictures. Oh, let me see if I can. Will it come up? No, I don't know if you can even see this on the screen. Yeah, I'll flash it up maybe. I won't do that because I dump these every couple weeks. But I was having a ton of fun. Just this old camera, I think it's from 2008. I spent too much money on it on eBay. I think it was $120 or something like that. But it came with extra batteries and some extra chargers. So but it's showing me just like simple, that there's a nostalgia factor like baked into it, and so that's been really fun and kind of gotten me interested in taking the everyday photos and more behind the scenes photos. And so I treated myself to this a little bigger. This is X100 6. So I've had several of these cameras over the years, and I have this is exactly what I've always. So this is the X106. This is the sixth one. Obviously, I had the X100, the first one, which I loved, and then I had the X103. Yeah, the 3. And so what they did finally is they put a little. I don't even think you can see it. They put this little joystick on it. It says focus here because my hand's too close to it. Now it's gonna make an ugly noise. They put a joystick on it that's how I find focus. So a lot of people will use a camera and they'll do the autofocus, and it is just like whatever the camera thinks to be in focus. If you dial into most cameras, they have a focus setting that's just single point focus, and then you can use the little joysticks to move around that single focus point, and then the camera will focus on that one point. And that's how I focus my cameras. That's how I always shoot. Because then you are deciding what's in focus, which is important, but also it helps in difficult focus situations, because if you know how the camera is focusing, how the camera sees things, you can often get focus much faster than if you let the camera try to guess, because often it'll back focus. It'll focus stuff in the background which you don't want. So there's that, but then also they added a tilty screen, which is not a big, huge, amazing, crazy thing, but now you can be a little more discreet. You can shoot from the hip. It's a very quiet camera when it snaps. So that's awesome, and it's great. So I'm gonna just start carrying this around every day, and it also has some really good film simulations. So you get that baked in nostalgia like this. But it's different. This is like a digital nostalgia from like the MySpace era, which, if you're a millennial, like that's great. And if you are younger than a millennial, maybe you find it interesting. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think it's stupid. I don't know. These are cool. And then I also bought this, which is a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which that was more to do YouTube stuff, to just go out and kind of have fun, and because it's like a gimbal camera, like, so it's a built-in, so see, it'll flip, and you can use the joystick to kind of just I don't know if you can tell that the camera's moving very slowly, because I have it set to the slowest setting, which is cinematic. There you go. Now you can see it twisting. But it's cool. It's neat. It's fun. It actually makes really good video. It's all you would really need if you wanted to start YouTube and have like a minimal investment. This thing is great for vlogging. You can point it to yourself. It's got pretty good audio built in, but it also, if you get the creator bundle, it comes with a microphone, and it's just fun. It stabilizes the footage for you with a little gimbal, and yeah, it's really wide, and so like even like I have the camera in about the same place distance wise, and this one is slightly wider. I don't know what I have this set to. I think I have this set to 24 millimeters, if that means anything to you. And it's 2 feet away, maybe 3 feet. Yeah, 3 feet, somewhere in there. So yeah, I mean it's definitely arm's reach, So either way, you could definitely vlog with this thing. It does take a little more effort to dial in the images, in that like it doesn't have like aperture. It doesn't have aperture blades. You could change the shutter speed, but there's reasons you won't want to do that. But like if you're just vlogging, it doesn't really matter, especially if it's just like this. Basically, the shutter speed will change motion blur, so you really can't tell. There's blur here that's kind of happening, and that makes it more creamy and cinematic or whatever. And with faster shutter speed, which is how you last year, just to get off the doom scroll. And so I got a bunch of games on the Steam sale. I love playing like silly little stupid games. The game I've been playing a ton right now is Potato. It's just like a top-down bullet hell arena shooter, and I just love. I've got like 200 some hours on it, which is insane. But just to get off, because I realized like, and going back to like living with intention, it's like when I get off of a like scrolling session, I'm like, did I get anything out of that? And like sometimes, well, I saved like a handful of like stretching and mobility videos, but I'm gonna forget about half of them, and so it's like maybe I learned one or two like cool stretching things, but like more often than not, it's probably like you probably didn't really get anything out of that session, and if anything, you just kind of feel worse in general about life. So getting off of the algorithm-based stuff, and also, with that, kind of my goals are geared towards that, with watching movies. So now I have something to do while I'm editing, instead of watching YouTube or any, scrolling Reddit. It's just something that's keeping me off that shit and kind of focused into more of an intentional frame of mind, and just getting back to the old days where like that shit didn't exist and you just didn't know about all the terrible things in the world. Like, yes, people are like, oh, you just turn it off, that's privilege. And it's like, yeah, but also like, if you're not gonna do anything about it, all it is just making you feel bad. So like, and it goes back with like, well, you could raise awareness, and it's like, oh, you're not really doing anything other than just ruining other people's days with raising awareness for the most part. Like, yes, there are times where it makes a difference, but like, if your awareness isn't specifically like, here's what you could do to help, come with me, let's go do this thing, and you're just posting about it, it's fucking worthless. All you're doing is ruining other people's days. And call me privileged if you want, but like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I see climate change, and I go with my dog to the park, and we pick up trash. Come with me, go with your dog, go pick up trash in the park. You feel a little bit about climate change. It's like, it's not changing the world, but when you think about, and I know some people are like, well, how does picking up trash look? Well, think about this, is like, when trash gets thrown into the parks, the people mowing the lawns at the parks, they're not stopping to pick up the trash, they just mow over it. So now all that plastic just turns into debris and like little shreds, and that gets into the waterways, and that pollutes, and down chain it creates issues. So if you can pick it up before it becomes microplastics in the water, this is better for everybody. So it's not a huge thing, and it's not gonna like change the world, but it's like you are doing something about it. And I find that when I can do something about a problem, even if it's not the optimal solution, even if it's not joining Greenpeace or going gung-ho and going full environmental terrorist, like doing something about it, going to plant trees and going to pick up trash and picking up the world, like, it's not a lot, but it's something, and I can do it now, and there's nothing stopping me from doing it at any point of the day. I mean, there's, you can't go at night, because it's hard, but you also can't go at night because like there's trespassing rules and shit, but you know what I mean. You could just go, he's like, I've got the day off, I'm gonna go to the park that I know is trashed, I'm gonna take some trash bags, I'm gonna get some fucking gloves and a picker. You could go get the supplies you need for 100 park pickups. It costs you like $20. Like, if you want to do something about it, go do something about it. So that's my 2 cents, that's my rant. Go affect change, go make stuff happen. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got. So that's my bit, that's my things, that's my stuffs. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have some resolutions or some goals or something you're gonna make this year better. And I know there's a lot of people looking ahead at like what's about to happen with the government if you're in America, and if you're not in America, you're looking from afar and you're like, this could still blow back on me somehow. It might. Let's do something. We could still be the best version of ourselves, whatever that may be. The government does not stop you from being the best version of yourself. So do what you can with what you have, where you are, and just ask yourself every day, like, when you wake up, like, by the end of the day, I want things in my life to be just a tiny bit better. So what can I do that I would actually do that would make that come true? You say that, and you just go make it so. So, and not every day you're going to do it. Not every day you're going to succeed. Some days you're going to fail. But here's the thing. You will fail, and you'll learn from it, and you'll iterate, and you'll do it better the next day or the next time you try that thing. Like, the only real losing is not trying, not giving a fuck and just letting it happen. Or worse, just posting on Instagram as it happens. That's what I got. So, cool. Kind of a Debbie Downer, but like, there's a bit of hope. There's a kernel of hope in that thought process. So I hope you're doing well. And if not, fucking wake up tomorrow and say, okay, I want things to be a little bit better. What can I do today that I will actually do today that will make my life better? See how it goes. See how it fits. Try it on for a day, a week, a month. See where you are a month later. I promise you it'll be better.